Well, howdy y'all. In today's video, we're going to be making a chessboard with the secret compartment. Let's get started. So I guess I should rephrase. Technically, we're not making a chessboard, or sort of making like a chess table or chess stand. What I mean by that is our chessboard here is made out of granite, and this is a very nice board here we picked up at a thrift store for about $5. Actually $3, $2.92, and goes around $80 on Amazon. And great board here. And basically we're building a frame for the top part, which this will sit into, then the middle section where the drawer will go, and then the base, right? And then for that's how the stand will work. And for the locking mechanism, I want the chess pieces to be like keys. And so we're gonna have two magnets inside of those. Those, when they get put on certain spots on the board, it's gonna pull up a plastic bar that has sat into two grooves on the drawer. And when the magnets pull that up out of the grooves, the drawer will be able to open because it's on slides, and then once the drawer is shut and those pieces are moved, that bar falls back into place. So pretty cool there. And here's our chess pieces. These guys have been great. We picked them up at an auction, and of course they are silverware, as you can tell. Now each piece here is hollow, and we are planning on, what we will be doing is filling them full of resin. They did come with a little weight in the bottom, but we're going to be filling them full of resin and then putting that weight back in, and then putting some felt on the bottom, and that's going to add some weight to these guys, and they won't get knocked over so easily. Okay, so I'm going to be using a poplar board, and we picked this up at Home Depot for about $15. It's 3/4 inch by 8 inches by 6 feet, and this guy is going to be pretty much making all the wood that you'll see. Now what I mean by that is that for the base, I don't want to be using a poplar board for all that. It's just kind of not realistic, so that won't even be seen. So what I'm going to be using for that is 3/4 inch 13 ply Baltic birch plywood, and that'll make up the base and the top, and then for the top of the chessboard will go on top of it, so you won't be able to see it. And then for the edges, this poplar board will go all the way around and the sides, and it'll cover up all that Baltic birch edge that you'll see, so it'll turn out good. Okay, so our first strip is going to be out of this 1/4 inch Baltic birch. It's going to be at 14 by 14. That's the size of my chessboard. Now for whichever chessboard you're using, it will just, your whole chessboard will depend off that measurement. So mine's 14 by 14. Let's go and rip it. Now that we have our base, it's time to go ahead and cut the sides, and those are going to be made out of poplar. We're going to rip the poplar board down at 3 1/4 inches, and then cut them to the length of the board. We're going to need 4 boards after it's ripped down, cut at 14 inches. I'm going to change the saw blade now here to a 45-degree angle, because on the back we want our two boards to join about 45 to give a nice tight fit, and it's going to sit here like that. And that's why I didn't trim off the excess wood, because I knew I was going to be cutting that at 45. So we're going to go ahead, this one's going to be like that, so we're going to go ahead and trim this guy off here. So those were the sides. Those were the 13 and 13/16. Now we have the front and the back, and those are going to be 13 and 15/16. Okay, so now all the sides are cut, and we have a nice tight seam all the way around here where 45-degree cuts are. Also, I went ahead and cut another piece of this 1/4-inch Baltic birch. It is slightly smaller than chessboard, so it's about 13 3/4 to where we can have a 1/4-inch gap on either side, and that will lay on top of here. And why that is so when our chessboard lays down on top, there, like that, we now have this gap, and that will be so when it comes time to add my trim pieces around the top edge, now I have a groove cut so that I can cut a groove in the trim, and that will just snap in place to give me something to glue to. Alright, so here's our sides here, and 2 of these are of course going to be the front and the back. Here's this like the door front, right? And so what I'm going to do is add a vector with the laser engraver, and we're going to burn in a design here, and it's going to be for the north and south side of the Civil War, right? So only different, they're all going to be the same except for a compass, and on the north side it'll have an N, on the south side it will have an S. Let's go ahead and head over to the laser engraver and engrave these out. So this is the 40-watt K40 is what it's known by laser engraver. I picked this up on eBay for about under $400, and this thing's been great. Now it can't burn through that thick of wood, but for engraving it's an awesome machine. I mean, it's really met up to my expectations and what I've used it for. It only does 12 inches by 9 inches, but for a lot of stuff that is a good size. Like this board here, that fit in there nicely, and which is about 13 inches, but the burning space of it is about 12 inches. We also got a industrial chiller and hooked it up to that, and that has made the CO2 tube last a lot longer than most of them have. Alright, so they're finished, and I think that they turned out really well. Some very cool effects that will have, and also with the tongue we'll be putting on here later on, in about 2 years from now. Seems like a while, but hey, it goes by quick. This wood will get a lot darker, and it's just going to make everything blend in, and will have a great look. Okay, now for the door, I went ahead and ripped 2 boards that are 2 1/4 by 10 inches, then cut a 1/4-inch groove in here for the bottom of the door for the Baltic birch panel. Then I went on Amazon and bought a pair of drawer slides that are 10 inches, and those are going to be a 1/2 inch width here. So I'm just going to lay them up on the side of our board here, and then take the side of the drawer and lay that right up next to it. Now the frame's nice and square to the base here, so this board here, once we lay it up, is where it's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that with a pencil, and that's where we're going to secure this board to the front of our drawer here. For mounting the sides to the front, I'm just going to use some Type-On wood glue, and we're going to clamp it and see how it holds up, and if later on if I can tell that I need to maybe shoot a couple nails in it, then I'll do that. But for now I'm just going to leave it like this, and I think it'll be tight enough. Alright, so it's all secured now, everything's square. Why this 1/4 inch board is here is because I don't want these to be touching the bottom of the chessboard, so those are this 1/4 inch board's like a spacer from the face now, so once I'll take this off and this glue dries, there'll be a gap, so then once the door slides go on, when it slides out, nothing will be skidding or touching the bottom of the chessboard. Alright, so I went ahead and took the clamps off, and it turned out a lot better than I expected. If we check the square, it's good that direction, and it's dead on this way. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so I went ahead and cut the 1/4 inch bottom piece to slide into here, and theoretically this should just slide right into here. Perfect. Awesome. That is an awesome, nice tight fit in there. Yes, that's great. So that's good. And yeah, so next piece is we're just gonna measure off right here. We're gonna cut a back piece to go right here. That's gonna be pretty much 9 5/8. So I'll go cut a piece at 9 5/8, and then we'll go and install that in there. Okay, and I'm also going to use a couple 3/8 crown staples and staple this 1/4 inch panel to our 3/4 inch poplar board underneath. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start building up the base here and frame, and to do that, we're just going to pretty much just line the sides up with my base as they come on the back side and glue them all and nail them in place. And just make sure our 45-degree cuts here all line up and are all tight with each other. Alright, now it's time to go ahead and install the drawer slides on the drawer. I already lined it up here and they fit nicely on the other side. So I'm just going to leave them offset just a tad bit because I don't want them to be seen once the door opens. The back of the door seen. So I want the back of the door to be inside of here, still just a little. So for that, I'm offsetting them about 1/2 inch from the edge. So I went ahead and made my marks. We're just going to open them up and drill and go ahead and screw these to here, and then we'll flip it around, and once it's open, So the drawer is now completely all installed, and I think overall it did pretty good. I'll have to do a little tweaking here and there, but I think it'll turn out fine. Hey y'all, thanks for watching part 1 of the chessboard with the secret compartment. Part 2 should be coming out in probably a couple of days, so we'll see how it goes. Hey, if you liked the video, like it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.